Right.
We could just have a conversation.
Carl, where you at, Carl?
You live, we live, we
That's right.
live.
That's right. We going
10:01.
live. Where we at, Carl? You talked all this stuff.
LeVar, where you at? You supposed to be joining.
Yep.
Right, Phil. Say that shit. Tag LeVar ass. He talking about, I'm gonna be on there.
I'm sending it to all of them. I'm about to put some logo.
Let's talk
I'm
about
about to
it.
put some logo music on in the
Let's talk about this shit. Timmy, where you at? Talking about he be having problems trying to get on the link.
We just ready to go live.
Here go LeVar. Be with y'all. Be with y'all. Come on, bring your ass on in. He just responded.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Cause we got something to talk about. I wish the culprits would all be on here.
Right. Talking all this trash. all this trash.
Oh my gosh. Always. Not just one time, always. Always about full.
Uh-huh.
I swear he didn't cause so much controversy. That's it within our look, I've been loving my Cowboys for umpteenth years, and I've just never seen one player cause so much controversy.
All right, so here we go. Let's see if we can turn it down.
I've just never seen one player cause so much controversy. Yep, I hear my say it again, Danielle. I heard myself. Say it again, Danielle.
All right, so listen, I'm gonna try this out.
Okay.
If it's too much feedback, then let me know. Oh, we got Tim.
Got you.
We got Tim.
Okay, Tim.
Let's go, Tim.
Let's go, Tim.
Let's go.
Here. Hey, look. That four had him going crazy.
Tim, so much controversy. You saw that shit, right? So much controversy. God damn.
Yeah, let's talk about that tonight.
Tim, I was just telling Phil, I never saw one player, and I've been a fan forever, and never saw one player as much as Dak gets the heat out of every play. Like, he gets it from our fan base. I've never seen such.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is because of how he came on the scene. You know,
I said that too. He took over Romo's. He got the Romo fans that felt that Romo was taking us to the promised land. And how did this guy come in here?
Who is this guy? You know, to come in here and take our beloved Tony's spot.
Yes.
You know, to the point where Jerry told his son, "Hey, I can't put you back in, man. You got to find something else to do. You got to find something else to do. You know what I mean?" So, you know, the Karen and the Kevins don't like that. You know, they ain't going for that. So,
shoot, even some of the the Mikes. Yeah, too, like that shit. It was just like a whole everybody.
Yeah, you right.
It was everybody. It's everybody.
It is.
And I don't get it. Like I say, at the end of the day, does he get blamed for some shit? Yes, of course. But I've just never seen a fan base. We can fucking lose because our kicker missed a field goal, and it's like, but did y'all see Dak when he threw that?
Right.
Well, did you see the missed field goal though? I mean, that cost us 9 points, extra points and field goals.
Yeah.
That's 10 points off the board. Mm-hmm. But did you see how Dak? Yeah, I watched the game, but okay.
That's Dak's fault, though.
Yep.
Right, Phil.
Hey, look, that's what I was telling him. I was like, look, man, I'm not a Dak hater, so I ain't getting into that part of the conversation.
Right.
My thing is, you know how Jerry is the marketing major. You know, he's the marketing genius. you know, and he'll sell a couple moves to make it look like he's trying to do something, but you know, he really ain't. You know, he ain't really all about that. You know, his thing is if he get one, he'll be all right with it. But long as them chings still coming, and he ain't really worried about that.
You say so you really think that? I hear a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
What's up, D. Harrison and Adam joining us on Facebook?
Man,
come on in here, Adam.
Come on in here. Let's have this conversation. Let's
real.
talk about it. But Tim make a good point though, Phil. He make a good point.
I think Jerry is more about dollars and cents than he is about championships.
Okay.
He has to be though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? As the owner, as you know, the general manager, he has to be more concerned about the financial part of it than the accolades. He don't want to give Jimmy his credit, but he don't have no choice about that. He can't take that credit away. You know, he can't take it. There's nothing he can do about that. You know, without Jimmy drafting who he drafted and being in control of that, he would have been crazy to try to do it any other way, because Jimmy was straight out of college. He knew all these guys.
They followed him. Yes.
He knew them guys since high school.
Yeah.
He recruited some. He got some.
Yeah.
He lost some. But he still knew these cats. You know what I mean? So I mean, it is what it is. You know. So how could he, as a all guy, know all the, you know, the all the people coming out of college? There's no way. There's no way. So
no way.
Yeah, so you take your lumps with it. Yeah, you won your Super Bowls with Jimmy. Jimmy's going to get the most of that credit, but you're the owner. So you sitting back on the financial part of that. You paid him a little sum, some little peanuts for what he did for you. But you know, now you move on. You know, and he's the hold up, being the general manager on picking the right talent because first of all, they've lost their identity as a squad. They're starting to regain an identity now. We definitely have a defensive identity.
Ooh, that's doomsday number what? 2.3.1 or
you know what I mean?
What we got in that defense? Woo!
We definitely have that. Now that we've got rid of Kellen, now we see what Big Money Mike can do as far as giving us an offensive identity. You know, where we can run the ball and push the ball down the field some, where we have a style where we just not calling, you know, quantities of plays. We're calling quality of plays that set us up to score points. Once we can get to that and we know what our bread and butter is, now we got an identity. We can draft to that identity. We can go through free agency to that identity and play ball. You know what I mean? So once we can get that developed, then we have a better chance. All that calling and all that free willing. Go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead.
No. I was just going because I want to play devil advocate because I know most know that I like to play that once in a while. You know, I'm really a good girl, but with that being said, all that we just talked about, all the false Jerry back then, I mean, do you now have to give Jerry some type of credit, though? As we're talking positive about some of the getting our identity back.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, he's still the he's still the owner. And we all know we know Jerry still runs the show at the end of the day. So do you now, I mean, look at it and say maybe, you know, Jerry has come to his senses and give him that type of credit to see that he's trying to rebuild that team that we all know Jimmy was, but we all know Jerry going to always take credit for that. And that's why Jerry gets in his own way, because he does take credit for that shit. But we all know as fans what it is, but Jerry will never. He, he's like a trumpet sometimes. He gets in his own ways and is delusional. But do we give him some credit now though?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, he's definitely.
Oh Lord, I'm getting ready to log off.
Yeah. You see what's going to happen. You see
hey, right on cue too. Right on cue.
Yeah. See, but he definitely gets credit. I mean, he's listening. I feel this is what I feel. I feel he's listening to the football minds around him to a certain extent. He's listening to those who has a little more knowledge as far as the football sense, the O's and how to go about doing things.
Right.
Yeah, I give him credit for that.
What's up, Carl? Carl, you hear us? He over there stuck. I wanted to see what he had to say about Jerry, because he ain't gonna give Jerry no credit.
Hey, yo, he's circling.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
That makes sense. I get it.
So here's my take on that. I think Jerry gets credit for the first three because he had enough sense to hire Jimmy Johnson.
Okay.
Just that alone is enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's not
think about it. He's in the Hall of Fame for doing that.
Hey, but that's not enough for Jerry though.
Right.
You know what I mean? We give him the credit as the owner and as the general manager for making those calls. Yeah, absolutely. But that's not. He wants I guess he wants so much more than what you put it with Jimmy for. You know what I'm saying? And you can't do that because you already know who knew where that part of it lies. Everybody watching that saw it knows that Herschel Walker move.
Woo!
No
one saw that and thought we was I'm with you on that.
But the part of that whole deal, you went into that deal knowing that you were going to cut those players and you were going to get the best pick out of it. You knew that.
They gave Herschel Walker a ring. He got a ring.
They should give one again.
Yes, they did. But wait a minute though, Tim. I'm gonna just have to say this. You was serious about that because you was chilling, laying down back, and you got up and was like, "You got Herschel Walker." You got up on that shit, Tim.
I had to sit up on it. I had to sit up on that one. That move right there, man. That was like, oh.
I know. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
When that happened, I remember when that happened. I was like, whoa, that's that was the move. You know.
So while we real quick, y'all, while we're talking about Jerry real quick, I know we talk about Jerry as the owner, and then we always throw that GM part in it.
Okay.
I truly think that Jerry is a good owner. He's a good businessman. Like, look at what he's done for the Cowboys organization. We're always on the Forbes, Nikes, the deals. Like, he's a forward thinker when it comes to the business side of when you're talking football. And I wish that he would kind of stay on that side of it. And I wish from years back he would have actually brought in a GM. I really do. But, you know, at the end of the day, Jerry is Jerry. But my question would be, do you all think that if Jerry would have stayed on the business side and actually brought in a GM, we would have more success versus it being 27 years? I think Jerry gets in our way and gets in his own way to think that he knows it all and can do it all. And I really think we suffered from not having a GM.
Absolutely. That's been my whole point, because a GM would have fired Jason Garrett a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? It's just some of the decisions that he made emotionally or personally, you know, that a GM wouldn't have been attached to like that because of the nature of the business. They know the nature of the business, and those decisions wouldn't have been so hard for a GM to make because he's not going to allow himself to get attached like that. You know, but Jerry, you know, I think Jerry, he cool. You know what I mean? I think he for what he's equipped with, you know what I mean? He's done a good job, but you know, I mean, not only for the Cowboys, but for football in general.
For football in general,
You know
he is the man. He is the man when it comes to the owners. He is like mafia wise. He is the he is kiss the ring, Don. Phil, I'm still curious to know what you think as far as the whole GM thing and Jerry.
Oh, look, I'm writing them down so I can let y'all get your points in, and then I come right behind. We learning, right? I'm learning, right? So one point I got, I don't know if y'all have noticed that I keep on posting highlights of Isaac Holt. Do you get,
bro? You know me and you. You know, I be messing with you. I told you he made plays.
So the reason why I'm posting those Isaac Holt highlights is because he's one of the players that came in the trade for Herschel Walker.
Exactly.
Right. Yep. And he helped us win some of those Super Bowls, including, I don't know if you saw the one today, that was the first 2 points of the 92 season, right? Was that block punt. It's not a huge play, but it's a block punt that went out of the end zone for a safety, right?
Right.
So those are the first 2 points that started the dynasty.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So people keep on saying Isaac Holt was a bum, but he had some key plays.
When we started talking about that, and you said Isaac Holt, I was like, he got some plays. You're going to see some highlights.
Like, he's a bum. They were like, he's a bum.
I told you. You're going to see some plays from Holt. I remember him. Yeah.
Oh, so that's where that started from, because that kind of threw me. Like, I'm like, okay, that's a blast on the pass. What's going on here?
Right. That's why I keep posting highlights of Isaac Holt. Right. All right. And then the second thing is, y'all hit the nail on the head. The best part of Jerry Jones is his business side to me. Like, he's not really a good, he's not into football like that, even though he'll tell you, I played for Arkansas. But look at Jerry Jones, man.
Right. Right.
He played guard as small as he is. So,
so that's when he played at Arkansas.
Exactly.
So what that was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when y'all say he should bring in a GM, right? I'm gonna just throw this theory on you, right? Because I really think that Jerry Jones really isn't the GM of the Cowboys. He just has that name, and he has the title of GM. But really, I think Will McClay is the GM.
Hello.
Right?
Okay.
I think Will is the scout man. I think he's broken down some of the responsibilities, and Will takes care of finding the player that you describe.
The talent.
Yeah, the talent that you want.
And Jerry wants to take claim on that too. But yes, that's why he keeps Will around, because players know who Will McClay is. Yep. And at the end of the day, you got Will McClay visiting you or calling you. You interested. But Jerry takes that. Takes that on too.
And he goes to all the like the East-West Shrine game and all that stuff, right? All right, so think about everything we just said. I think he's the GM. You said you think he's the head of scouting, right? You ever seen his paycheck? What he gets paid?
Oh yeah, he gets paid.
Exactly, he gets paid more than every other GM in the NFL.
Yeah,
he's the GM.
Yeah. Well, basically, yeah.
I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point. But Jerry likes to pay him.
You put it like that, because money talk.
Exactly.
See,
And no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you go.
No,
Go
well, I was gonna say the Jets were gonna hire him as the GM, and Jerry went and overpaid. He paid him more than what the Jets were gonna pay him to be whatever his title is, head of scouting, whatever. Will McClay is the real GM of the Dallas Cowboys. Let's be real.
He's just not the face. He's just not the face.
Exactly.
But he's the behind the scenes man of it all, and he allows Jerry to flourish in. Oh yeah, that was me. And he's good. And he's good with that. And to me, that's a true. That's really a true GM. I don't need to be in the limelight, Jerry. You go do it. You've been doing it for years. But at the end of the day, no, I'm with you on that one. I love me some Will McClay.
Okay. Yeah.
Will McClay. He knows players. He gets them when he see them went way early than what we even thinking about them. You get what I'm saying? That's how heavy he is into football. Like he followed them from high school up into college and everything. You be like, who the hell?
He know everybody. Grandmama, their
aunt,
everybody.
He's invited to the picnics and the cookouts, everything.
He know the whole tree. He know which auntie make the potato salad.
You playing, but he
he do. He does.
So I think
good point, Phil. Good point.
He gets paid as the GM, and Steven, I think, is the last line. I think Jerry just goes out and gets in front of the microphone, and then he has the title on paper.
He's a spokesman,
right? And
sometimes we need to shut the fuck up, but we can talk about that at another time because
we're gonna talk about that right now.
He shut the fuck up because he begins shit stirred, but I'm sorry.
Because he done got me confused now about the offensive line, talking about Terrence Steele is going to be the swing tackle.
See, that's what I was telling you last week.
I'm like, what?
What?
I saw that.
He doesn't know football, y'all.
Right.
I saw it live when he said that at the meeting. And I was like, what is he talking about? So I thought he's going to do, I thought Tyron was going to be the swing so you can make sure he's there for the playoff, for the run, but just I was like, man, he tripping.
Yeah. Listen, what I tell you the other night. he got to put that Johnny Walker Blue down, man.
He got to put it down.
I don't know. Jerry do a little bit more than Johnny Walker Blue. He adding to that shit. Because Jerry, again, that's Jerry. He just, because he got to be in front of the camera and get shit started. And for real, he probably knew what he was talking about and saying just to keep his name out there. Jerry causes controversy on purpose, and he knows exactly what he is doing and how he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for years. This is the same owner, was the only owner people started coming down. What owner did y'all know back in the day coming down on the field?
Him. That's it.
That was it.
That's it.
Tell me what owner was coming down on the field every game constantly because he knew them cameras was on it and he knew that people were going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So he's a marketing genius. You got to give him that.
Yeah. A marketing genius. And I think he genuinely loves those guys like his kids or relatives.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because think about how many of the Cowboys in that era have gone into the Hall of Fame, right?
Oh man, and have jobs still.
But who introduces them at the Hall of Fame? Jerry Jones.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They love that dude. Even after they got rid of Dez Bryant, right?
Yep.
When the Beyonce concert came to Arlington, who was in the suite with Jerry Jones? Dez Bryant, right?
Sitting up in there getting it in.
They love him. They love Jerry Jones, yo. So if we can talk as bad as we want to about him, but those players love Jerry Jones.
And you know why? Because a lot of those players, if you think about it, for two reasons. A lot of those players had troubles before, and Jerry was always about picking those players up. And then second, he paid them. Okay, he paid them well. A lot of those players got lucrative deals and walked away with money. You understand what I'm saying? And then on top of that, just in itself, with the organization, I mean, look, come on, we got one of the best stadiums. I mean, training camp. I mean, look how he takes care of them. Period. You get what I'm saying? So wouldn't you, as a player, be like? And then half of the players always talking. I don't care what nobody say, and maybe I'm biased because I'm a Cowboy fan, but how many players have y'all always heard? I grew up a Cowboy fan, and when I wanted to, how many players have you heard say that about the Cowboys? I know they said about other teams, but I swear I just hear a lot of those players, or somebody in their family got the Cowboy jersey on draft day in the background type of thing. I mean, we are a household name. It is what it is, and that's because of Jerry.
Yeah. And even right now, OBJ said his entire family, they Cowboys fans.
Yep.
They just brought in Gilmore. Gilmore said he grew up as a Cowboys
fan. As a Cowboy.
Yep. So you got a good point. Yep. We got. I see smoke coming in.
All right, that's gonna be LeVar. That's LeVar with his late ass. We got feedback in the house.
That's right.
Hey, look. Lee Harrison said, I'm ready for some football. It's only April. It ain't even April yet.
Yes, let's get it in. Let's go.
Javier, you want to come on here, man? He said,
what did he say?
What's up, LeVar? What up, LeVar?
I have arrived.
Oh, hold on. I forgot. We got to mute ourselves. Hold on, so we can hear you clear. I want to hear you.
I was saying I have arrived. What's going on, everybody?
What's up, LeVar?
Hey, we muting ourselves to let you talk.
But I don't hear feedback though. I really don't hear the feedback. He might be on another phone. Maybe he on an Android.
Look, maybe it's that blunt.
The phone is high as a motherfucker.
Look, hey, LeVar, Carl came on here for a minute. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, Carl came on here for a minute and he froze and then left.
With a fucking mask on.
That ain't number good.
With a night mask. Come on.
He was getting a facial or something.
Like facial night mask, it don't matter. Come on. You don't come on a football post and podcast with a face mask on. But anyway, let me hush.
I knew he was gonna be an earthquake when he came on the chat. I knew. I just put up my Mickey Mouse memes. I'm just coming through. I'm just passing through.
Oh no, we not going. What we not going to do is give him this time. We used to talk about Jerry. He want to come on here and talk about fall when we get in that conversation. Oh, I'll be ready.
Lord Jesus. Hey, Carl. Please, brother, please. Please, brother, please.
Hey, somebody said he's definitely on a flip phone.
I am dead.
He got the Jerry.
I am dead right now. Like, I'm dead.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna mute myself. Hey, LeVar, before I'm gonna mute myself, but we were talking about hey, Jerome on here laughing, man. Jerome, come on here, man. Y'all playing too much, man. He said He said nothing but love, LeVar. I promise.
hey, tell Rob, I'll get a motherfucking pager first before I get a flip phone.
Hey, we were talking about Jerry Jones, LeVar. You got any thoughts on Jerry Jones?
Yeah, I got a little something.
Let me mute myself too.
I mean, finally, he you see how shit start to come around once when he start being active in free agency, and he's doing it in a smart way. He's just not jumping out there just grabbing anybody. He's grabbing shit that we need. So when it comes draft time, we don't have to have anxiety or be desperate to pick. We could just go ahead and pick either the best player that fits us or just the best player, period. So yeah, finally, his dumb ass finally came around and started doing shit right, man. I'm sick of his dumb shit, for real. That's all I gotta say about the motherfucker, man. Yeah.
Hey
All
LeVar, but is that Jerry or is that the new GM Will McClay as far as picking, smart and getting the talent that fits the systems that we're running?
It's definitely will. I think it comes to the point where you've been doing it your way for too long. Something gotta give. So what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose of getting a third person to give you ideas when you've been trying for so long to do it your way and look where it's got us? So it's
27
definitely
years. 27
exactly.
years.
So you definitely could tell that if somebody's in his ear differently. You know what I'm saying? Even with the picks over the years. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that he's been influenced because if he had his way, that bum ass Manziel would have been a cowboy.
I would have been happy about that though.
Oh, Phil, really?
Just
Really?
not because it was Johnny Manziel, but I just want them to draft a quarterback in the first round. And I'm gonna tell you why. When you draft a quarterback in the first round, you get your quarterback on a rookie deal for 5 years. That way you can get a chance to stack your team without paying your quarterback.
Well, yeah, I see.
But he couldn't play though. But he couldn't play
for Cleveland.
I think it would have been worse coming to Cowboys because of who we are and who he was. He would have ate that shit up, and I think he would have been even worse being a Cowboys because he wouldn't have really took that shit seriously. Because of all that, Jerry would have rolled out the red carpet for his ass, and he would have took advantage of that 110%. It would have been even worse, and then we would be labeled again because we always bringing them players in, and I would think he would have set us back. So I'm glad that, to me, like LeVar said, that to me shows something in Jerry that, okay, maybe he was tired of the names and maybe it was time to start looking at actual players who was going to bring something to the table versus a big flashy names. And I think Will McClay was the reason for that, of Jerry changing his mind of drafting those type of players. So at the end of the day, LeVar, we was talking, I think Jerry is a great businessman, marketer, all of that type. And I wish that's where he stayed in that lane. But I do think the Johnny Manziel situation let me know that he was finally maybe ready to start listening to other people and seeing what was going on. But I do think the Manziel thing would have just been a disaster.
It would have been.
We got a Redskin in the house.
What?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Not just fellas. You see what?
Hello.
He said, "Hey, Miss Danielle."
See, look.
No, y'all don't.
We can't even get mad at him. He got manners to say Miss Danielle.
I know, right? I know. But can I still just like give her like a side eye though too? I mean, just a little bit of something. But thank you. You gotta convert.
I'm working on it.
All right, come on. I'm gonna need work a little harder, Tim. Work a little harder.
I'm working on it.
Look, we
Going back. I'm not switching back. I'll say that.
Oh.
I'm mad at our coaching staff and everybody for letting Heineke go. I'm a little mad at that, but
okay.
I actually agree with you. That was dumb.
Yeah.
Don't move
with that because he's proven if you play him, he's good. He just needs time to develop.
We got the Commander takeover going on right now. I love it.
Hey, we gonna bring him on the week that we play Washington. You gotta come on.
I love it. Yes, right? I love it.
I'm gonna get jokes.
And look, if you want to, you can come on. I'll send you the invite. You can come on your separate. You can come in your separate square.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, you know who we should get on too?
Nope. Chris. Nah, I mean bring Chris on here. Bring Chris on here.
Hey, no.
Jerome just putting up all these laughing emojis. He like 100, 100. Hey, so look, I got one thing before, so I won't forget. We keep giving Will McClay credit, right, for Jerry Jones's decision. We also got to give Steven credit too.
Yeah,
because I think Steven is a big influence on Jerry too.
No, most definitely. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think when it comes to Steven, I think he's the one that's telling Jerry to let Will do his thing.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think he's telling Jerry that, hey, look, we've done it our way for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Let this dude that he's been around us. He knows what we like. He knows what our team should look like on the field.
Right.
So let's give him let's listen to what he got to say. You know what I'm saying? Because like I was about to say with that Manziel shit, it was just he probably got a reality show out of that shit. He wasn't worried about playing no football.
Who would have got a reality show? I'm sorry.
Manziel would have got a reality show. He been on MTV.
Right, exactly.
MTV coming on after Jersey Shores.
But, all right. So hold on. Let me just ask y'all something, right? Because I've been thinking this for a long time, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I love it that we got Zach Martin, right? Because Zach Martin has made All Pro every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if they had gotten Johnny Manziel, we're looking at Johnny Manziel's results from playing for Cleveland, right? But say you drop Johnny Manziel in there with Dez Bryant, Terrence Williams, Jason Witten, that offensive line, DeMarco Murray, he might have been a different player. You don't think so?
Nah.
I'm looking at all your faces like, hell nah.
My thing with him playing was his inability to read defenses post snap. And that's what got him in trouble in Cleveland. And that's what would have killed him in Dallas with all of the talent around him not being able to get him the ball. Because that's why number 4 is having the problems that he's having. Because the coaching staff.
Watch yourself.
Oh, you want to go ahead and move it? So you want to go ahead, Tim, and move into that segment now? You just gonna skip over? I guess we done with Jerry, and now we about to get down to number 4, Tim.
I already knew.
Good segue, Tim.
When I said that
was genius. Good segue. Genius, Tim. Good segue. Good segue.
It was respectfully, with me saying
respectfully.
Definitely respectfully.
Okay.
See, because my point wasn't finished because
my bad. So basically, you tell me to mute myself and shut the hell up. I got you.
The coaching staff that was there showed major inability to train and to teach reading post snap. You know what I'm saying? So with Johnny being the man and not really, at least four did his own homework. He went to his own folks. He tried to do the best he could with his feeling at the house, bringing people over, trying to get on the same page with the
All
receiver.
right, good comeback, Tim. Good comeback. I agree with you.
He tried to make up for the deficiency in which he possessed and that his coaching staff possessed. You know what I mean? But from that, you know, Johnny didn't care. He wouldn't have put none of that work in. None of that.
But he didn't care in Cleveland.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you played in Dallas, that's a whole different ball game than playing in Cleveland. You know what I mean?
And that's why I think it would have been worse for him, Phil, because he was in Dallas. Yeah, I just feel like he would have been a disaster because of not on the field stuff, but we all know that off the field stuff can and fuck a player up at the end of the day. And I just think that Johnny would have really fed into that because we all know Jerry would have boosted him. Jerry would have made him feel like he was the man. And then you got the fans. We know how our fan base is just, when we like a player, we go all out for our for our players and stuff. So I just think all of that outside noise would have been the issue for when it came to playing on the field, which made him think that he could do anything on the field. I just don't think he would have been in the study rooms. He wouldn't have been studying, like Tim said. He wouldn't have been focused because he would have felt the need that he didn't need focus. He would have been like AI and be like, it's just practice.
And you even talk about my homeboy now.
Hey,
I love AI, but he's just practice.
Hey, look, Jerome is in agreement with all of y'all. He said he could have been different, but he was garbage at reading defenses. So
garbage, man.
But you know what? To add to that, he was even worse as an improviser.
Man, see, that was his best thing at Texas A&M, right?
That was his thing. But when he got to the NFL, the thing that made him good at Texas A&M, he was terrible at that in the NFL.
Okay.
So when you're good at only one thing, and the only thing you're good at, you're terrible at now.
Right.
How to play rugby or cricket or something, bro. It was played done.
Because that speed in the NFL, boy,
it's different.
It's different.
That's different.
It's totally different. It's a whole nother. And not to bring it up, and I know because we had a Commander fan, but that's how I felt about Commander. What's the name? Trent. What was it? What's the dude? What was Trent Williams?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he had that one move, that spin move, and everybody kept trying to figure out what's the one. Yeah, maybe it's not Trent Williams. Who was the one that they were so gung ho on and got hurt? For the Commanders, and he had that one spin move.
The quarterback? You talking about
No, just recent.
You talking about Chase
Young.
Oh,
there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had that one move, and everybody figured out what that little spin move he did. And it just goes back to the point of what LeVar was saying. Like you forget what got you there. You know what I'm saying? In college, you're doing one thing, but the NFL is you messing with grown men now who've been in the NFL now for about 5-6 years. So that same shit don't work.
Mm-mm.
And then on top of that, and then I believe the subject alone. All it takes is 1 year for an offense and a defense to learn each other. RG3 is a perfect example. When he came in with that RPO, he was unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
Unstoppable. When that next year he came, what happened? Next thing you know, he's out and he's making Subway commercials.
Yeah.
It's a totally different monster in the NFL, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a totally different monster.
Right.
Yeah. So sorry, Phil. I think
It's all, hey, it's all good.
the panel right here, we're giving you a wonk wonk.
Look, the panel and the comments. They like, nah, Phil, nah. So before we go to the next one, so you don't think Paxton Lynch would have done better here if they drafted him and throw him in there with Dak Prescott? When you think Paxton Lynch would have still been terrible?
He had no arm strength.
Okay, all right. Will.
And the game was too fast for him too. The game.
Yes.
So?
Yes.
Okay.
He was scared. He was scared. Scared.
Right.
He would not have bought. At the end of the day, y'all can say what y'all want to say about Dak, quarterbacks or whatever, but I'm gonna give you two examples. Romo, for me, I guess I can say this. Romo, to me, at the beginning when he first got in there, was a pussy. And I always kept saying Romo needs to take some type of control and show some type of leadership and some type of something for players to end up believing. And finally, Romo started doing that, and you saw the difference in the offense. And that's how I feel about Dak. At the end of the day, y'all can say what y'all want, but them players will play and do what they need to do because Dak exudes that leadership role. I think Paxton would have came there and been like, we don't got time for that. You need a quarterback to take that role. And T.V. Paxton, no.
They loved them some Dak. The Cowboys.
Yeah, they love and that's important.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's important. That's important.
Hey Phil, I will say this though, Phil, too, in support of your stance.
Mm-hmm.
just using Carson Wentz as an example.
Okay.
When he first started as a rookie in Philly, he really wasn't getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
He started, he was candidate for Rookie of the Year. He was, vying to be NFL Player of the Year. Hurt his knee.
Mm-hmm.
Once he came back and started getting hit, now he can't even look downfield to throw the ball.
Right.
Because his eyes don't leave the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Because he's looking for that next hit.
Right.
So when you talk about Johnny Manziel in Cleveland, you talk about Paxton Lynch in Denver, them boys was getting hit.
Yep.
And they got hit early in their career.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So Dak was handing that rock off to 21.
Yep.
Throwing his 18 to 20 passes a game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I see what you're talking about. You know what I mean? I just wanted to make sure that I gave you your kudos on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Even though I don't like neither one.
That offensive line in Cleveland compared to Tyron Smith and Ron Leary and Frederick and Zach Martin and Doug Free.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Oh, I'm not a Doug Free fan, but I hear you.
No, listen. DeMarco Murray ran for 1,800 yards behind that line.
Absolutely.
But I mean, that line was solidified when Mitch McCarthy ran for 1,000 yards.
That's what I'm saying.
McFadden.
Yeah,
McFadden.
That's my point. Look how bad McFadden looked with the Raiders, but then when you put him on the Cowboys running behind that line, look how good he looked. So that's what I'm saying. You take Johnny Manziel or Paxton Lynch and drop them in Dallas instead of Cleveland or Denver. How do we know they wouldn't have looked like a first-round draft pick?
Because I still feel that their deficiencies were bad enough to be deeply exposed. Because
to bring them down.
Because their deficiencies is reading defense once people start moving around.
I like it. I like it. Good point. Good point. Look, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get those little around the horn things. You know how they give them points?
Yes, Phil. Yes, I want my points. I want my points, damn it.
Every time y'all make a good point, I'm gonna click it.
Bill, you crazy, man.
Look, I told you we gonna steal stuff from everybody.
Yeah.
That's right. I want to see my little points at the bottom of my screen and be like,
Hey, look, we already 49 minutes in, but I just so our other point, Johnathan Hankins. Everybody happy about that move?
Yeah. I told you last week it was on the table. They were just waiting for him to sign.
Yeah.
He just wasn't ready to commit. He won't trying to get off them donuts and that fried chicken. He won't trying to let that go yet. But they was waiting on that.
Okay. He scared me for a minute when he came out and was like, well, I ain't really thinking about come on. I need you to yes, I'm happy as hell. He was needed. He was a priority. We talked about that. But yes, he was a priority number one. And so I'm happy as hell with that. I'm telling you, because I do this every year, get all, excited and anxious. And I'm telling y'all, watch out for it. So I'm a hush, but I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I was happy about that too.
I think he heard us too. He heard the Cowboys fans begging for him.
Yeah,
I think it was a lot of pride too. I mean, for the simple fact of he didn't want everybody or anybody think that he's desperate to play. You know what I'm saying? Like he did, please bring me back. Bring me back. You know what I'm saying? I think it just came down to the point where I let him sit there and wait a little bit. Well, I damn sure will come back and get that money. You know what I'm saying? So it was probably a pride thing. And like my man said, donuts, chicken, and catching up on his reality shows or watching Andy Griffith and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Binge watching and shit. But I mean, this defense, y'all know I'm this defense got me like legs shaking and just like all excited. Like you see our defense, and then we got Quinn, like the head. Like, come on, y'all, come on now. Defense win championships. I will always say that every year. Defense win championships. God damn it!
Because if they don't score, that means you ain't got to score but a little bit.
Right.
Tell them again, Tim. What you say?
Because if the other team don't score, you only got to score a little bit. That's it. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do. Put a couple points on the board.
And keep your quarterback from throwing about 40, 50 times, and we good.
Right.
Yep.
Our defense got a chance of being special, for real.
Yeah. They were good last year.
Yep.
Yeah. We were good. We were hella good. Like I said,
look.
my bad.
No. You go ahead, LeVar. Go ahead and finish your point.
Like you say, it's just like, as far as defense, I love defense too. But it's like, when I think about that defense last year, man, it was like, it kind of took me back to 2014. You know what I mean? Although we had that star with Micah and all that. But man, when you think about that 2014 defense with Selvey on the end, Jeremy Mincy, guys that you didn't even really think that wasn't going to do anything. Like, this surprised the hell out of Orlando McClain, Terrell McClain. It's like, when you can get a defense to play together like that, and how our defense played together last year, all you can do is build on that, man. And like the draft, and I still feel like, man, if we could, man, Phil, I've been telling you, if we could get Miles Jack, man, we could get Miles Jack. Well, man, Michael ain't got to ever worry about just staying at linebacker or on the line. He can go anywhere he wants. Man, you imagine that? Oh my God, with Miles Jack, Jabril Cox,
right?
Come on, man. Is they Sam Williams? Man, we got a bunch of young bulls, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Don't forget.
We can put it all together. We can do it. Don't
forget LVE.
Come on, Phil. Come on, Phil. We was doing good.
You know LeVar ain't going for that, man.
We was doing. I'm with LeVar on that. We was doing good, Phil. I'm with LeVar on that one. Why you do that, Phil? That's fucked up, Phil. That's fucked up.
Hey! I want all of y'all to tell. I want all of y'all to shame Jerome Lane talking about his first show. Great job, y'all. He's supposed to be on here with us,
Why
right?
you not on here, Jerome?
Right.
And thank you, much appreciated. But bring your ass up on in here.
Right. There you go. Get him.
We don't bite. This is all us conversating like we normally do in the group, having a conversation. Let's go. Let's do it.
So here's the next question. So with that Hankins signing, right? So we got just about everybody with Cooks and all the other moves that we made. We're basically covered everywhere, right? So in the draft, now we just go with the best player available, right?
That's how I'm feeling. But
I want offensive line with that first pick.
Okay.
And I want your boy from Florida.
Osiris.
Yes, sir. Osiris. If he's not there, then do what you gotta do. But if he's there, I gotta have it.
You know, I'm not arguing with that.
Hey,
I gotta have it.
With the
where my man KJ? We know who KJ wants.
Yeah, we know. I know he's gonna say, Tim, shut up.
I know.
You think about the moves we made, though. The moves we made, you don't have to have anxiety or be pressured to find that person. You could pick and be comfortable with the pick you made.
Mm-hmm.
And, I my man, the dude from Florida with Osiris, him or my boy from TCU.
That's Avila, right?
Who's the TCU guy, LeVar?
Avila. He's a guard.
Yeah, he's a guard. He has a nasty disposition with him, man.
Right.
Like when you got him young like that and got that nasty attitude, man. Like, yo, wouldn't it be a dream to get both of them motherfuckers? Okay, yo, I'm telling you.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Think about that 90s line. That's all I'm gonna say. Think about that 90s line.
Yeah. Or the line we had in 2014 with DeMarco Murray that we talking about.
With DeMarco, yeah, true.
Yeah. Like, think about this. Look, DeMarco Murray led the NFL in rushing with us, right? 1,800 yards. The very next year, he went to Philly. Did he even get 1,000 yards?
I don't think so.
Right. Did he get 500?
But he was beat up though. But he was beat up because we rolled him till the wheels fell off.
Yeah, we did. That is a fact. That is a fact, Tim. You ain't lied about that. We rolled his ass.
We rolled him till the wheels fell off. We did the same thing with Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke. I mean, if you look at his carries, you know, you would think Zeke was a 10-year running back. You know what I mean? With the amount of carries he didn't have. We rolled him till the wheels fell off.
But plus, you got to look at this, man. The way that Philly ran him, that was the dumbest. You got a power back. Why you got him in the shotgun every time, run the ball out of the shotgun like he's that explosive to get to the line with both his legs, man?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They turned him from a power back to a stand back. And every time, when we played in that game, you knew every time he would get the ball. Because as soon as they got the game and went to shotgun, they handed him the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
He had no choice but to fail.
Yeah. That's true. We definitely run some running backs in the ground, but it's funny you bring up Zeke because I'm just curious to know. He's still out there.
He coming back.
That's
coming back.
Phil, did I not say that when we were talking outside? Did I not say that?
Yep.
I said that, right?
He coming
I
back.
say the same thing, Tim, that I really think, first of all, no team is jumping at him, which makes us look kind of good because he hasn't been signed yet, which, again, do you put that on Jerry to look genius or do you put that on Will to be like, we don't need him? Is that a McCarthy thing? I don't know, but no one has picked him up yet. We keep reading about the teams he want to go to, but are we really reading about the teams that really want him? Because I haven't seen any articles that any teams have at this time on. We're thinking about Zeke, and he's still there. And I think that we're going to get him back for cheap. I'm with you, Tim. I said that from the beginning, for a year at least.
It was a genius move by Jones, man. Jones know what nobody gonna put that money up there for him. They knew that when they let him go, Jerry. Let me tell you something. Jerry loves him, but all this was just to fool everybody. Man, everybody and mama know. Everybody will give Zeke that type of money to run the ball that ineffectively. You know what I'm saying?
Because I think that's the question. The money. What is the money? Like, can y'all break it down, like the contract and money wise too? Is that maybe another hindrance for teams like he ain't worth that? Because what would they actually have to pay and all that good stuff?
That's exactly what it is. Because they watched him with that Cowboys line before the injuries or whatever, and it was the same. You see, a lot of people, man, when you look at football, we tend to forget that time do go forward, and everybody's expecting Zeke to run that ball like he did in 16, where he looked like a grandfather out there. So people ain't gonna pay him that type of money when they ain't got the 2016 Zeke. And that's why they're not picking him up. And Jerry knew this. That's why Jerry wasn't going to sign him back. Because Jerry knew that eventually he was going to come back on a cheaper deal. But that's why they do such a genius, man. He's a fucking genius, for real.
Hold on. I agree with what you're saying, right? To a certain extent.
Right.
So this is what I want them to fix, though. Because this is my pet peeve with the Cowboys. And the whole NFL period. It's not just them. So the same thing you're saying about Zeke, right?
Right.
We all know football, right?
Right.
Why even give Zeke a second contract if you know you're going to have to end up cutting him?
Oh, okay.
Don't you save money? Or I'm just asking. I don't know about the contract when it comes to, but do you somehow save some type of money though doing it that way?
Yes, you can. Because I'm gonna tell you why. They could do the contract like they did Greg Hardy. Give him a small amount of the base, and his incentives will make up the rest of the contract.
Okay.
Like Greg Hardy, when we brought Greg Hardy in that year, we guaranteed him $1 million, so he had a chance to make up the $4. You know what I'm saying? Because of performance wise, that's how you do it. You just put in the contract. Hey man, look, you can make up to $5 million, but look, you gotta give us at least this many games played, this many yards. That's all they gotta do. Be smart about it. You don't have to say, hey man, look, we'll bring you back on like 3 years. I'm not gonna guarantee you no 3, not that. Hell no. I'm not guaranteeing no Zeke no 3 years. Maybe a year and maybe 2 years, 1 year guaranteed, the next year optional.
Right. All right. So this is what I'm saying though. So all right. So like this year right here. So Danny, this is what I mean.
Okay.
So they signed him to that second contract, right? So for instance, this year when they cut Zeke, his salary coming into this year was going to be $16 million, right?
Okay.
So by them cutting him, they saved 10, but they still got to pay him that 6 because that's considered his signing bonus. That gets prorated. So, yeah, you saved $10 million on the contract that you gave him, but you still paying that man $6 million. And if he plays for somebody else, that's $6 million that goes against your salary cap while he's playing for somebody else. That makes no sense to me.
And I hear what you're saying, and I do have a question. I hear what you're saying, Tim. My bad. Go ahead, Tim.
Okay. But the thing with that was by Zeke. The power move was Zeke.
Right.
Because he had the Cowboys hanging off the cliff.
Thank you.
By doing it, by getting his money early and saying he was going to hold out for the money.
Yep.
He forced the hand. So like LeVar is saying, make his second contract full of incentives. Zeke won't gonna sign no contract like that.
Okay.
Zeke was after that guaranteed money.
Right.
Right. So because Zeke knew he was taking them hits,
right,
and they was running them, and his wheels was about to fall off.
Oh, that motherfucker fell, but okay.
So Zeke, he outsmarted them on that one.
Right.
Because he made them do it early, and I think he was prepared to sit out.
Right. I agree.
I think he was.
Right.
So
So
if I could just I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tim. I didn't know you was still talking.
So as an organization, would you rather do it like Pittsburgh did Bell?
Yep. Yeah.
And just ride it out and take your lumps and losses and then get you another one in the next draft?
You already had Tony Pollard already. They already had Tony Pollard on the roster.
Tony
with the money though. I just go back to the money part of it, and then at some point too, I look at it. Added to what LeVar and Tim said too, is then you humble a player too, because now Zeke is out in the market. Zeke think he may have been worth or better than what he really was, and then you got teams not even calling you or wanting you on the team. So now you have your old team is saying, okay, you went out there, you saw what, nobody came at you. So now we're going to bring you back for those incentives that Tim and LeVar talk about. And he going to take that easily, because at the end of the day, y'all keep forgetting Zeke still wants to be a Cowboy and wanted to be a Cowboy. He was ready to restructure his contract too. And I don't know what happened with that. I don't know if that was rumors or what, but I read a lot of articles on that. So I think at the end of the day too, it's like, okay, go see what's out there for you. And when you don't get it, then now his back against the wall at the end of the day, and it looks good for the Cowboys.
It was two situations with that. You know what I'm saying? The first part, like Tim you was saying, Tim you were right on. See, Zeke already knew what was going to happen. Where we at right now, Zeke already knew this what's going on now, what's going to happen. That's why he wanted his money straight up then, right then and there, because he knew it was going to come to this point where we at right now.
Right.
Now, as far as the other part, like I said, Jalen knew once they let him go, and Zeke found out that he's not desired like he thought he was going to be. Oh, we already know you want to pay for us anyway. Well, you go ahead. Go on, you go ahead. Like a female, you got a good woman at home, but you want to go out there and think you find something better. It's that 80-20 rule. You know what I'm saying? The 80% out there beat his ass. Now he want to come back home and do the 20. That's really what it is. Nobody wants Zeke because they feel like he's not worth that money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're not taking the chance. A lot of people knows that there's no more dynasties. There's no more, hey, let's go ahead and get veterans. Nah. Coming back to the Cowboys, Jerry knew. That's why Jerry let him go, because he knew he could bring him back and get him on a cheaper deal. And it was a genius move, man.
And Phil still think, let's just eat that whole 16. Excuse me, the 16, Phil. You said let's just eat it. We don't need no bargains, huh? No bargains.
No. I'm saying in hindsight. By the way, Jerome said not football related, but Trump got indicted.
I know, yes, Jerome, yes.
Why you had to start that up, man?
Yes, Jerome, yes, I'm with you. Fuck yeah.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate it.
So no, what I'm saying is, if you could go back, hindsight is 2020, right? If you could go back, don't give Zeke the second contract. You already had Tony Pollard on the roster. Just draft another running back, and you got Tony Pollard as your lead back. You ran Ezekiel Elliott in the ground. You already know that, right? You know his legs are going to be gone. Don't give him a second contract.
But Tony won't Tony though. Tony wasn't strong enough to carry no load.
He was. We just didn't. So? We just didn't see it yet because
they ain't used.
Yeah, but he was already there.
They're still looking at Tony as being that wide receiver out there in Memphis. But Tony had that in him the whole time. He just needed that brick, you know what I mean? But teams that looked at him being slender, just like how people looked at Chris Johnson. Nobody thought that slender Chris Johnson was gonna run them yards that he ran. Right. But the thing was, man, he was just built for it. They just looked at him and took it the wrong way or whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with you, Phil. I agree, man.
Okay. If you can go back, right? Like we didn't know it at first.
Right. But Jerry don't look at it like this. It's just like somebody send you money on Cash App. You know what I'm saying? If you want to transfer that money, would you rather wait them couple of days or you take them $2 some cent fee?
Man, fuck waiting a day. Give me instant. Give me motherfucking instant. Motherfucking instant. I'd be damn if I'm waiting some 2-3 days. I would take that $1.27.50.
That's my whole point right there. That's what I mean, Phil. They wasn't going to wait on that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, we'll eat it. $6 million to us is just like $60 to everybody else.
That's why we pick the players we pick with that extra money. That's why defense is loaded.
But see, y'all saying the $6 million, right? But we could take that $6 million and put it towards Bobby Wagner right now.
We know that, but James, we know that.
No, what I'm saying is stop signing people to the second contracts in their last year. Draft another player behind them.
We just won't do it, Phil. I'm with you, Phil, but we will not. That's just not our makeup. We don't do it.
Okay.
It's over year after year, Phil. We say that shit all the time, but you have to, at some point, as a fan, accept what your owner, your team will and won't do, and we will not. It won't happen.
I don't
That's all I'm gonna say.
Like we grow as people. You know what I'm saying? You don't do the same mistakes over and over again. You learn from your mistakes. So why is it that I can be out here delivering mail for 10 hours every day, and I can see the mistakes that the Cowboys make as a Cowboys fan, and say, all right, well, the next time, don't do that. And they do the same thing over and over again.
Yes,
the same mistakes.
Yes, even when you watch them plays on Sunday, you already know this shit is. You can watch our games and know at the beginning whether it's what type of game it's gonna be by that first drive of the game. And you're like, oh, it's gonna be a long day. Let me go ahead and roll this up and give me my whole bottle of Patron because I'm gonna be shit-faced drunk. Or you gonna be like, I can take it easy today because that drive was a hell of a drive.
But hold on. This year, you're gonna look forward to what am I gonna say on the post-game show? Yeah.
Right, Phil. Promote that shit because I'm gonna have a lot to say.
I was thinking about it already. I think we should do a pre-game show and then come back and do a post-game show.
I agree, but I won't be on all post-game shows because it depending on the game what I smoked and drank, I might end up getting us kicked off of any podcast or anything because you already know I will cut some motherfucker out quick.
It's only one rule. You can't curse in the first 2 minutes.
First 2 minutes.
So we'll just mute.
Y'all just mute me, man.
We'll mute you for the first 2 minutes
because I'll be like, we in this bitch. Let's go, bitches.
Hey, you got to be stuck. Hey, look, she got to be circling for the first two. She got to circle for the first two.
Filma tell you, LeVar tell you. I would just have to do, just mute me. But I love that
Hey, I
film.
got you. I'm gonna have my clock on. I'm gonna have my time clock ready. I'm like, all right, dude, here you go. You on?
It's my motherfucking video, and I'm sticking to it, bitches. Like I can't help it. So sorry.
So
But
did you
y'all,
got?
I'm
No, go
sorry.
ahead. No,
I was
you
just
go
about to
ahead.
say, but y'all right about knowing how the game's gonna go. Just by, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you, all it takes for me, that first 3 and out. That's all it takes for me. The first 3 and out, when they come out and we get the ball first and we get a 3 and out, I'm already on Netflix seeing what I'm gonna binge. I'm already looking.
Right.
I'm like, I refuse to let them get my blood pressure up. You're not blowing my high, and you're not burning the 1738 out of me. You're not doing it. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not.
Hold on. Unless they let Dak go no huddle. When they let Dak go
Talk,
no huddle,
Phil.
then
Preach,
we good.
Phil.
We
Yes.
good. We
I
good.
mean, hey, improvise, but that's the thing. They gotta let that man improvise.
Right.
And I agree. That is key. But for some reason, I don't know if it was a Kellen Moore thing or what. It just didn't happen enough. And then when you saw him improvise, we just were able. We looked so much better. And as a fan, you watch this and you just like it's like how do we sit on the couches and in our chair and you watch this stuff
Right.
and you just like, come on, Kellen. And come on, Dak. I don't know what it is. And maybe somebody else could tell me, but Dak doesn't feel comfortable improvising enough.
Right. As if they're gonna put him on the bench. You getting paid too much. They ain't gonna bench you.
Right, Phil. What is right?
Hey,
Good point. Good point.
Dak tried to prove this year. He tried to prove his worth for his contract by trying to stand in the pocket and be like the other boys. Be like Allen and be like your boy up there in Cincinnati and all the boys that they were comparing him to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not his game.
Such a good point, Tim. Such a good point.
You don't
wait a minute. Hold on. Josh Allen runs though. He runs.
Yeah, he does.
He takes
he
off.
does run. He does run. He does. He does. But
it's different.
But his running is not significant enough to warrant the contract that he got. It's his big play ability that gave him that contract. So Dak tried to prove that he could make those same plays.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. But I blame that on coaching too. I blame that on play calling as well because that's how they were forming him to be. And that was not the quarterback that he was. And that's what I couldn't stand about Kellen Moore because he did that. Kellen Moore does not belong as an offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys when you have that type of quarterback. And what killed me about that is Kellen Moore was knew Dak. Like he knew Dak's style. Like that's the shit that I sometimes think to myself, like, is this really savage? I mean, come on, Kellen. Like, he went against him. Like they compete. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. And it's like, that reminds me of the Jason Garrett and Wade Phillips. Jason Garrett was the highest paid OC. And then what did Jason Garrett do? All forget that he was the highest paid OC for a reason and then became head coach after he fucked over what's name. And that just kind of started getting my head all over again. It's like, Kellen Moore, are you really here for the right reasons? Because I'm not understanding all of this.
Right.
You know what it is? It was them being punks. All this shit comes to please Jerry. And let me tell you this right now, because Jerry makes it a point to let you know that Dak is a pocket quarterback. Like he's just as good as anybody in the league or whatever. We gave him his money, so he's worth every penny. So therefore, you give this man his money, he's getting paid like these players has won Super Bowls. Now you expect this man to perform like these players, but he's not that type of player. He's He never has been. So you're expecting this man to do something that is not him. I'm sorry. You can't get Zeke out there and think that Zeke is perfect for a bubble screen. You don't have the speed. You have to do and put them in positions to perform where they can perform at. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. And with Kellen Moore, them, you can tell. Them guys were calling games the way that Jerry wanted them boys to call the game. Point blank. Point blank. You're not going to get my quarterback, especially after Dak got hurt against the Giants. That really set the shit off there. Because you're not going to sit there and tell me that I'm going to pay this dude all this money, but then you want to put him in harm's way by getting him from behind this big wall that we have protecting him. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of that, Kellen Moore was inconsistent, but a lot of his inconsistency came from Jerry them being in his mouth, in his ear.
Another puppet. We know Jerry likes puppets.
And then when you stop being a puppet, exactly. You have to make a stand. If you can't let me coach the way I need to coach, then I gotta go. I guarantee in San Diego, you aren't going to see a better Kellen Moore in San Diego because he's not going to have that same type of chatter
Oh,
in his.
I would be so fucking pissed. I'm just gonna let y'all know now.
I'm telling you,
Because I can see the fans now. It wasn't Kellen Moore, it was Dak. Look what he's doing out there.
so speaking of that, each one of y'all said something about Kellen Moore and Jerry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that maybe it was Dak that was keeping that thought of him breaking his ankle?
Yes.
And maybe that's why he didn't run as much.
Yes.
Because he wanted to make sure he was available.
Yes. Yes, Phil. I was thinking about that as y'all were talking about that. And that was one of the things I thought in my head is hell fucking yes, I think so. Because you got to think about it after the ankle. Remember, then it was the other injury. You get what I'm saying. So that takes that's mental. I mean, as regular people fucking get hurt and break something or whatever, that's detrimental to us. But that was his career, and like we saw that ankle twist and turn in ways that it shouldn't have. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that at the end of the day, you do. And people think, oh, well, he'll get over it. But it is a mental thing. And yes, Phil, I think that's why he stopped doing a lot of the running. I will say this year you saw a little bit more in that. And hopefully because he walked away with no type of, serious injuries or anything this season, that for him that now it's out of his head to know that I can still run. Because let's be honest, we saw some plays when he was the old Dak. He was rushing touchdowns and he was running motherfuckers over. And you was like, yes, Dak. Well, I was. I don't know about other fans, but I was like, yes. I was like, yes, Dak. That's the Dak that I know. So I'm hoping that this year he's gotten over that hump. But Phil, you bring up a good point, and I do believe that did hinder him mentally from doing a lot of plays and all that. And I think that's why he was nervous too in the pocket, because there were plays where the pocket was collapsed and he would be able to run, and you're screaming, Dak, run! Like I screamed at him, y'all.
And he's still doing it.
Yeah, he patting that ball.
Yeah, and yes, that hesitation and holding on to the ball too long. Like he had got away from that, but I did start to see a little bit of that this year within him. And again, like you say, Phil, I do think that the injury part of it still played a big key this season.
Yeah, you're 1,000% correct, Phil. And that's exactly what was going. You could tell because even when he was checking down and when he didn't see nobody open, he's still trying to make a way out of no way. Yeah. But then you start gradually seeing the old guy coming back after he got a couple of hits and he got out of the pocket and seeing that he was comfortable on them legs. So you started seeing but you're exactly right. You can tell he would go to his three reads. Ain't seen nobody. He's still trying to force the ball. That was just the fact that he just did not want to take that chance of being carted off the field again. So it definitely played on his mind for sure.
And
Yeah.
look, and that's the thing. When you said carted off that field, you remember that face
Right?
Yes.
that he with
That
those tears
tears.
coming down.
Yes.
Hey,
I remember Phil.
listen,
I don't know if I want to talk about this no more because I'm really
what
feeling emotional right
but what
now.
I'm saying was those weren't fake tears. Those are some
Those are
real
No,
not
tears.
fake tears.
And you could tell he was thinking, I just
this
My
is it.
career is over.
my
This is
team
it.
ain't gonna win without me.
And my career is over, Phil, because you don't know until you get it back there and see the doctors. Remember, y'all, he was trying to pop that motherfucker back in. That's how
sure
bad
did.
he wanted to get in and win.
He
And when
sure
you
did.
couldn't pop it in and realize that your whole foot was turned upside down, those tears was like, am I ever going to come back and play again? Because no one knew. We all didn't know. We all felt that pain.
That's what them tears were. He felt on that court. You looked in his eyes, and he really didn't know. I think for the first time, he really doubted himself.
Okay.
Am I going to come back and play again? It was all in his face, and the way that his foot looked. If you didn't think that, there's something wrong because I'm telling you, like that was nasty. That was nasty. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So yeah. So he definitely thought that that cart ride was gonna be the last time he was gonna be on anybody's field.
Most definitely. Most
Yep.
definitely. And most definitely. I'm sorry, yes. But I'm glad it happened where it happened versus being in Philly because we all know how Philly treated Michael Irvin. So at least that part of it wasn't on top of it. Come on, like I'm just saying.
You got a comment on here talking about Danielle is crazy and laughing emojis. All right, so we almost at an hour and a half. So I'm gonna read this quote from Jerry Jones. He said, "If you look at the last 3 years, he needs to be more available." Talking about Dak Prescott, everything we're doing, and I feel good about this offensive line, should make him more available. And then we're doing some things in the line, some technique, and some philosophy there there that will really help Dak out. I'd say to our fans, these adjustments that we're making in our offense, you add it all up, and you're going to see Dak at his very best.
What? Say what? I might need you to reread that shit because
Yo,
I am so lost right now. What?
all I hear right now is I'm putting all the pressure on Dak.
Eggs in one basket, and it's on Dak, right?
And if you want to blame anybody for if we
Right?
don't go to the Super Bowl, blame it
It's
on
Dak.
our $40 million quarterback.
And that is Jerry. That's that Jerry bullshit that we talked about. Like, how do you do that and then expect your quarterback now to come out ready to go when he know at the end of the day you done got rid of his best friend?
That's
Now
true. I
you
didn't even
making
think about
fucking
that. Yeah.
you making fucking statements basically saying, look, I don't give a fuck what your contract is. If I gotta pay $60 million next year to get rid of your ass, I can afford to do it. So you
Right.
need to come out and deliver. And
Right.
and that's why I say that we talked about earlier. Jerry sometimes needs to shut the fuck up because he
Yeah.
sometimes is a hindrance to the team and the morale of the team when you got a coach coming in trying to get the morale and all that, and then you get Jerry ass running his fucking mouth and then half the time talking in tongues and don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So let me
Yeah,
just go ahead and mute myself and just have a glass of wine because I don't like that shit. I really don't like that shit. I think Jerry is a reason for a lot of leaks that come out and he plays dumb. And
Absolutely.
then he tries to get that going and people talking. And this is just another example of Jerry again as an owner. As an owner, why are you talking?
Right.
Shut the fuck up. And if anything, you talk positive about your players and don't be all subliminal with messages because Phil, what you read is not what he was saying, but that's what he was really saying. And
Right.
that's what I got from it too.
I agree.
right.
Yeah.
He's at the point like Jerry like this. Jerry want all the praise when we doing good, but when we fuck up, he want a scapegoat. The
Yep.
motherfucker, he's one of them type of motherfuckers. He like throwing rocks, then hide his hand. That's what the fuck he do. He starts a lot of shit. Then when shit comes back on him and start look bad, all of a sudden you go sit there and say this, but this man though. So basically, what he was saying in that letter was saying that, hey, motherfucker, if you fuck up this shit, it's your fault.
Yeah.
It ain't
Yeah.
ours. It's
Yep.
your fault. So
Because
there's no
Yeah.
excuses.
he's
It's on
saying
you.
we done hook the team up for you. Let's do it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And if I could just add, and I will shut up for the rest of the night, is
No, you good.
this is the same Dak that everyone really started hating, not only outside of the Romo situation, but when all the Dak came out with the injustice and he made that statement, and everybody was like, oh, he's a jury's dude. Like Dak got a lot of criticism from that shit. You get what I'm saying? Because he was riding with Jerry. And that's the shit that I don't like, that at the end of the day that Jerry need to shut the fuck up, because Dak has always rode from the kneeling to all of that. You get what I'm saying? And now
Mhm.
Jerry is flipping the script to sit there and put it all on Dak, when Dak was riding with Jerry when his most popular decisions weren't taken well by the fans. And that's the shit that I don't like. You understand what I'm saying? He's making
Yep.
him all on him. And I don't
Mhm.
like that, because this is a team sport. And you cannot keep putting it all on one player when you already know your fan base is putting it on one player. Now
Yep.
Jerry is riding that wave, and that's some straight bullshit. And then now you make it look like that picture years ago keeps surfacing on in my head and whatnot. Like Jerry, I need Jerry to chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Listen, a tiger can't change his stripes. You are what you are.
Mhm.
Amen.
And as far as the pressure on Dak, that's exactly what Jerry did. Jerry took the bus and ran it right over top of Dak from before the season even started. So he already got his goat of who's to blame, because he's coming after that money,
Mhm.
and McCarthy won't be, because he he can't save Quinn no more. Quinn already said, Jerry, this the last one. This the last one. So Jerry got to put everything in line, so when he make his decisions for next year. So and when he got Dak a receiver, he talking about the offensive line. Now, how you gonna make all this stuff and talk about the offensive line? You still don't have a guard. You still don't know what is still gonna be your swing tackle. Is Tyron gonna be your swing tackle? Is Tyron gonna make it through 17 games? And so all anything can happen. And here he is talking about, if we don't, is that
Right.
that
Yeah.
that could be the MVP. So how would it be Dak then? So Jerry, like I said, Jerry be in the way, man. He be in the way.
Too
And
much.
Tim, you know what it is? Jerry is showing us right now that he don't believe that we're going to do good next year. When you already putting God out there in the air, you're already getting your excuse ready for when shit hits the fan. You
No
don't believe
bullshit,
that this is
Navar. And we only in March,
And
April. No bullshit.
we ain't even had the draft yet. Can we get through the
No
draft?
bullshit.
Hey,
Yes.
look,
He is already.
I agree with him though.
ready.
Huh?
He got his
I,
What?
excuse.
I agree
What
with him.
you
He already trying to make excuses for if they don't make it to the Super
There
Bowl.
you
Oh,
go.
I thought you said you agree with you was agreeing with Jerry, like his
No, no,
whole
no,
statement and
no, no.
stuff. I was like, well, Phil, I'm gonna go ahead and resign and log off the podcast,
And
and
call it a
we
night.
good.
I agree with LeVar that he already trying to make an excuse already, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yep,
Yeah, he already got his shit ready. You gonna
yeah,
sit there, like Tim said, you gonna say all this shit, but then but then y'all are contemplating of making Terrence Steele, a swing tackle, and even playing guard.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yet you're doing everything possible to get everything set up for your quarterback to be successful. When you don't even know who's going to be a swing tackle and who's going to be your guard. You got a man already solidified himself at right tackle and Steele, but you want to take him out of his comfort zone and
And
then take
make
him
him
out
a
of his
guard.
comfort zone, and then with him, you know how some guys are. You take them out of their comfort zone, and they do bad in their position. Their
Yes,
confidence.
yes,
Shit.
yes. Ain't that the truth? LeVar, tell us how you really feel.
I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this shit. Okay.
Osiris Torrance. Osiris Torrance. That's what we need.
I'm telling
Okay.
you.
I'm
Look,
with
look.
it.
KJ would disagree with you, Phil.
I already know. But guess what? Guess what? I'm older than him, so I done seen more Cowboys.
That's what I'm talking about, Phil.
Would have been through more pain. Would have been through
listen,
more pain.
listen. I
Shit.
think, and not just pain. I've seen the success also, right? And every time we have success, it's when the offensive line is good.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
if I had my choice, because
That is the truth.
I've seen Avila go in the second round to us in mock drafts. So if I have my choice, I'm taking Osiris Torrance in the first round and
And
Avila
Phil,
in the second round.
yeah,
All right,
yeah,
Phil. I'm noting this stuff, Phil. I'm noting this stuff.
Yep.
yeah, that's
And
so
that way,
good.
I'm noting this stuff.
listen, I got two
Well,
guards. I got two guards for this year. And Avila can play center as well, right?
right.
That's what I was going to
So
say.
yeah, so what's his name? Biotish.
Be honest.
He's a free
Got it.
agent next year.
Yeah, I want to
Remember
call him something else, but yeah.
but
And we
remember
can
when
set
I
the goals free too.
but remember when I said why do we keep signing people to second contracts just to cut them
Yeah,
before it's over and then you
yeah,
owe them dead cap money?
Right.
yeah.
Draft their replacement in their last year on their contract.
We don't do, but then that's why I go back. Phil, tell me when have we ever done that? When have we
Right.
ever done
It's the
that? We
But
don't do it.
let's start now.
As long as Jerry's around, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just not going to
No,
happen.
no. So listen. So if they draft the best player available, I hope I ain't taking up too much of y'all time. If
uh-uh.
even if we take KJ's perspective, right,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and say we take Bijan this year, right?
Oh
We're taking
Lord,
no. I'm just saying we're taking a running back, right?
no, I'm just kidding.
So next year, don't re-sign. Don't give Tony Pollard another contract. You drafted Bijan this year, and he'll be on his rookie deal for 4 more
For
years
4 more
after
years,
this
right?
year. Don't sign Tony Pollard. You got
You,
Bijan on a rookie deal, right?
you know what, Phil? You know what? I felt that what you're talking about. I felt that way ever since Cap has been hitting the NFL the way it has.
Yeah,
You got to always have your successor ready.
that's
Yeah,
And that's
it.
what I'm pissed off
yeah.
that they took so long to find Tyron Smith
Right.
successor. We have been found his successor.
Yep. So
But
in
that's
the
what we do, though.
right,
Exactly.
And that's you right, Phil. We got to break it, but who's going to
learn.
be the one to break it though? Because right now it's been umpteenth years. But I agree with you. Recycle
Yeah.
that shit. It's
I
recycle. Bring in
That's
the new, out with the old, in with the new.
yep.
Jerry ass still in the 90s. Jerry
You
ass is still in the 90s because back in the 90s we didn't have Cap like that. That was like
thank
that.
you. Exactly.
Good
See,
point,
Exactly.
Phil.
that was my point right there. With the way that football has evolved now, and the way with the cap and all of that, like football is the only sport where the contract isn't fully guaranteed.
Right.
Right.
So when you're in a situation like that where you only guaranteeing a certain amount of money, they're so used to players staying put that it wasn't a whole lot of player movement.
Right.
So that's why the GMs, most of the GMs in football have been in their position so long because they've been able to work a formula, so to speak, or a way of about building the team in their way or that way, so to speak. So now with free agency and players being able to move back and forth and those types of things, and majority of the contract now starting to be guaranteed, adapting a new way of doing business is essential. And Phil, you've seen, this formula work, before, and I think it's a very good idea. Yeah, the way to go about it, not drafting, not signing so much of your own players, and just building from the draft and building. You got to have some free agents, some older players, some experience, because you can't have a team full of young guys. So, but at the same time, in your key high dollar spots, you should be able to, like you said, for quarterback, keep a rookie quarterback in the wing for when that second contract is ready to mature. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Yeah, that's a new way of doing business.
Look, we don't have to be stuck in the same
Right.
just because your grandmother did it, that means your mother did it, and now that means you got to do it. No, if you see they did something wrong, if they did something wrong, break that cycle.
Yep.
Damn, Phil, the way you put it like that, I'm with you. Yes.
Thank you. See, I learned all this from the pandemic. I started using think. Yeah.
You right.
So that's why I'm like, when KJ keep on talking about Bijan, I'm like, I ain't against it. I would prefer the trenches, of course, offensive line and defensive line, but Tony Pollard is making $10 million this year when most other running backs are making about $6 million. Right? So we pay them $10 million this year, but if we draft a running back, don't sign him next year.
Yeah.
And we
know the life of a running back is short anyways in the NFL. So you should be having them recycling on a constant basis for sure.
Right.
I'm getting through.
All right, Phil, you get through. God damn it. Yeah. It was the grandma and that kind of like woke me up, and the light bulb was like, oh, okay.
Even if we don't get dude from Texas, I mean, there's still plenty of quality backs in the draft that could fall to us. I mean, we could address that offensive line or whatever. Like I say, Tank Bigsby is one. I mean, we got a lot of backs in there. It's not like, if we don't get the dude from Texas, that it all is lost. Like we have options. That's why I'm saying this year, him with the free agency the way he did, really let us go into the draft, but I don't have to draft with any anxiety or any type of pressure. So,
what round would you take Tank Bigsby in? Third. Okay. So we go Torrance in the first round, Avila in the second round, and Tank Bigsby in the third round.
In the third. Yep. You think about that right there. Right there, you think about it. That's a perfect draft right there.
Are we going live for the draft?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure we got to put that out there. We're going live for the draft.
So look, last week we said I saw it when I replayed our the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I said I think we're gonna bring what's his name, Cooper Rush back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the next day we re-signed Cooper Rush, right?
Yep.
The
Right.
next day.
Yep. Sure enough. Notre Dame is over here.
Tuesday, we said Hot
Hank,
Rod said, "Oh, we're gonna get Hankins
I'm sorry, Hank. Yeah.
in like the next 12 hours, right?" The
right?
next day they re-signed
He
Hankins.
sure did say that too. He sure
He
did.
did. I saw the part. Yes, he did. I saw that shit. Yeah,
So
he
so
did.
the moral of this story is
I know what the moral is.
everybody needs to tune into this podcast every Tuesday and Thursday
And
because
Thursday.
yeah.
Motherfucking right,
Hey,
Phil.
Because we
Motherfucking
be
right.
bringing that truth.
Yeah.
he broke it. He
All right, well
broke it.
hey, that's all I got to say, y'all. Y'all ain't got anything else to say?
I am
Nah,
good.
I'm
This has
good,
been
man.
good. Good
This was good.
conversation.
This was a good conversation, man.
I'm mad that all them Dak haters and everybody else didn't come on this motherfucker. But I'm gonna be nice tonight. The next time we get in that chat and motherfuckers start talking, I'm gonna call everybody out in this bitch. I'm gonna start just like I tag a motherfucker in the group. I'm gonna start fucking name dropping up in here. Bring y'all asses up in this bitch. We got this. Come on.
Go ahead and call him out. Call him out.
Y'all hear what I hear?
What'd you say, Lamar?
Sound like you talking about.
Y'all hear what I hear?
Huh?
I said, do you hear what I hear?
Yeah.
Shots motherfucking fired.
They calling for you, Carl. They calling for you, Carl.
With the coming in with the face mask and shit. I think he was doing that shit on purpose. I think that shit was just on purpose to get shock value.
Big bro should have put you on the contract.
Shock value. Who comes in and post grilled food in a what's the name, and then come on with a motherfucking woman's mask and shit? Who do that?
We out of here. We out of here.
What we talking about right now?